Are you ready, Monarch fans? It's time for the Old Dominion Football Show with Bruce Rader and Coach Bobby Wilder. Sponsored by a Step-in-Time Chimney.
In a season of heartbreaking games, none were as excruciating as Saturday's one-point defeat against Texas San Antonio. The injury-ridden Monarchs gave it their all, and with their first conference victory just minutes away, well, the football gods denied them again. I'm Bruce Rader along with Coach Bobby Wilder. Welcome to the Old Dominion Football, Coach. Okay, Coach, let's go through Saturday's tough loss. Now, you were down 7-0 after the first drive, but then your team came back strong, and I know you were so proud of them.
Oh, and what's incredibly encouraging, especially with Hayden Wolff in at quarterback, Bruce, is we give up that first touchdown, and then we outscore them 23-3 over the course of the next 3 quarters, playing really good football. And Bruce, I want to compliment the fans that were there Saturday. I could feel the energy. Our team could feel the energy. Everybody was feeling like they were seeing a different football team, which the fans who were there and the people that watched on TV saw a different Old Dominion football team Saturday, and one that will never, ever stop fighting for wins.
You mentioned the name Hayden Wolff. We've got a special guest that's coming up here. We got our second look at your freshman quarterback, who's quickly proven that he can play college football.
Yeah, there's no question in that, Bruce. And I've been asked quite a bit recently, why did he play earlier? Well, he had the shoulder injury in high school that required surgery. He wasn't healthy earlier in the year. And then with 4 games left, it was clear we needed to see him. Well, in only his second game, Bruce, he goes 17 for 29 for 247 yards and a touchdown. We have the most yardage we've had all year. He played good football, and he's only going to get better. And you see the development, Bruce. He distributed the ball to 11 different receivers in this football game. Everybody on our team is getting better right now.
And we have a special guest. Hayden joins us here on the Old Dominion Football Show. Welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself. You fell in love with the game growing up in Florida.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm from Florida. I've grown up playing football my whole life, something that I've been used to doing. I've been training, working hard. It's really been my whole life ever since I was a little kid. I love it. I love the game, and doing everything I can to get better every day.
Now, nowadays, we've got 2 types of quarterbacks in college football. The kind that like to pass and run, and then the kind that like to stay in the pocket and throw the ball a lot. I get the impression, as tall as you are, you're more of the pocket guy than you are the Lamar Jackson type of guy.
Yes, sir. I'm really comfortable in the pocket. I like to see everything coming at me. I like to know the coverages. I'm comfortable in the pocket. I don't like to run. I can run if I have to, but I'm more comfortable distributing the ball from within the pocket.
But I've seen you run a couple of times, so, I mean, if you see the opening, you take it.
Oh,
right?
yeah, for sure. If it's there and I can get a couple yards and flip the ball to the ref and go to the next play, that's what I'm going to do.
Now, Coach, when you got a pocket quarterback, every time he does decide to run, do you hold your breath?
No, because he's really smart on when he does it, when he runs. It's only situations where things are covered. And when you have a guy, he's talking about playing within the pocket. He also has the ability to move within the pocket and throw the ball. And he's been so good, Bruce, at getting the ball out of his hands on time. We're better protectionally. We're better catching the ball. Those are the things we're seeing right now with Hayden at quarterback.
I know that you like to develop players, especially your quarterbacks. So it had to have been hard to keep him on the bench for the first part of the season, but then you have to do what's best for the team.
Yeah, and we saw the development from Hayden down running against our first defense, which, as you know, we have a top 50 defense in the country. It's hard to practice against those guys, but what Hayden showed us through August, September, through October is the ability to get rid of the ball fast, Bruce, down there, and that served him well in these first couple games. We feel it from our receivers now, our offensive line. Everybody sees that development through practice and how much that's helped him as he stepped into the starting quarterback role.
Now, Hayden, I know that you were recruited by the University of Kentucky early in your high school career. Then you paid a visit to Old Dominion, and then as you developed as a high school quarterback, you started getting offers from schools all over the country. Why did you end up signing with Old Dominion?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to receive multiple scholarship offers through my hard work and my play on the field, but I chose Old Dominion because it's where I felt most comfortable. I fell in love with the coaches, I fell in love with the program, the offense, the area, everything about the school I loved, and I really could have seen myself succeeding here, and hopefully I can do that someday.
Now, I know you had a lot of success as a high school quarterback, but you just seem to be so unbelievably comfortable out there on the field in a college game. What do you think it is that makes you feel like you've matured so quickly?
The coaches have put me in a situation where I can succeed. I'm surrounded by great playmakers. My O-line's been playing really well. We've got some great running backs who I'm comfortable handing the ball if I don't like what I see on the defense. So it's just I'm just a product of the people around me. I take what I can get, and anything I'm not comfortable with, give it to the running back or just rely on those playmakers that I have.
There's a big difference in the speed of the game between high school and college, isn't it?
It's not too different. Like you said, I played at one of the national powerhouse high school teams, so I was used to playing kids going to Alabama, Ohio State, Oklahoma every week. So it is different, the processing speed is different, but I've grown comfortable through practice and reps and film, study, everything like that. I feel comfortable now.
Coach, it's a shame he doesn't have any confidence. I know.
Confidence in the preparation. That's what he does.
know that you go out of your way to recruit players with character. You always have, and obviously we have just seen that this young man has a lot of character.
He does, and on top of being a really good person, Bruce, he's a 3.77 GPA as only a freshman, and an early enrollee. Remember, he enrolled in January. He graduated high school early to get ahead in his degree, to have the ability to get multiple degrees. And when you have a quarterback that's a good person, leader, the ability to be in front of everyone, good academically and on the field, he's setting the pace for everybody in the program.
All right, when we come back, tight end Dante Anthony needed some quick moves to get by Nathan Epstein in this week's 1 minute drill. That's coming up next on the Old Dominion Football Show.
What could
We're back with the Old Dominion Football Show and the 1 minute drill. We have a sophomore with us this time. It is Dante Anthony, the sophomore tight end for the Monarchs. So we know that you love football, but what is your favorite professional sport other than football?
MLB. I like baseball because I grew up playing baseball since I was around 10 years old.
What's your favorite team?
The Nationals, because I'm from D.C., so that just grew on me easily.
Here it is! The Washington Nationals are world champions!
Did it hurt you seeing Bryce Harper leave?
We want to bring a title back to D.C.
Oh, yeah, that was a big-time change for my culture.
World champions!
The first thing you would do with $1 million.
Oh, I'm going to buy my parents a house and a car.
What could you eat nonstop?
If you just like stack a pile of burgers, I eat all of them.
And finally, what would be your last meal?
I have to eat some more burgers. That's about it.
All right, he's Dante Anthony, sophomore tight end for the Monarchs. And Dante, why don't you say goodbye to the Monarch Nation?
Thank you to all Monarch.
I'm not sure your nutritionist wants to hear that. Do you have piles of burgers on the training table?
We got it for him, Bruce. He's one of those younger players that is developing. I think he's going to be an all-conference player in the future. And the size, you saw the size. He's 6'5", he's 240 pounds. He's only going to get bigger and better. He's a really big player for us, impactful in the future.
And you can do a lot of things with a tight end nowadays.
Yes, you can. He's the type of guy, Bruce, he can play on the ball, off the ball. He can block in line as a tight end. He can run routes. He's got the whole package within him. He's just got to develop.
A very important position. All right, we'll be right back after this. Welcome back, Bruce Rader, along with Coach Bobby Wilder. Coach, you get another bye week this week, but if your players had their way, they'd be out practicing today.
Yeah, I met with our captains, Bruce, on Monday, and they wanted practice Friday to be like a game. They want full pads. They want game situations. They want to get better offensively in the red zone. Defensive guys didn't feel like they tackled well enough, so they want to tackle. That's what we're going to do on Friday, and then we're also going to practice on Sunday, which will give us an extra practice going into Middle Tennessee. But we're getting healthy this week.
Well, that's the thing. You've had so many injuries. You would think this comes at a perfect time for these guys to maybe recover a little bit.
It does, and having played 8 straight weeks, Bruce, you get a week off, and your body feels so much better. And I told our guys Saturday after the game that come this Friday, they're going to feel as close to the way they did August 1st when they first started. that will help everybody on the team.
And we've got to talk about the defense. It's made great strides this year, especially Lawrence Gardner, Keon White, Derek Wilder. Calvin Bruton had a great game at safety last week.
Yeah, we're a top 50 defense, Bruce, which coming off of last year, amazing accomplishment. Lawrence Gardner leads Conference USA in tackle with 94. Keon White is second in Conference USA with 16.5 TFLs. Derek Wilder's had a sack in his last 3 games, 1 per game, and then Calvin Bruton had 12 tackles Saturday, the transfer from Florida State. These guys are playing really good football on defense.
Well, they got 2 more shots, and hopefully they'll get even better. 2 more games, both conference games. Middle Tennessee a week from Saturday, and then, of course, the final home game against Charlotte. Still a lot of football to play.
There is, Bruce. We have not beat Middle Tennessee yet. We've lost 4 times. We need to get them, and Charlotte's fighting for a bowl game. We'd like nothing better than to knock them out.
They're improved, but your team is improving every week.
Yep.
That wraps things up this bye week, and we'll see you next week, Wednesday at 10:45 here on Fox 43 for the Old Dominion Football Show. Good night, everybody.